Okay, so we are GeoScienceWorld. We are enjoying our 20th year of existence this year. And I included a link to some information about our 20th anniversary video. I won't play it for you here, but if you have a moment later, I think it's well worth a view. It sort of gives you a little bit of background on GeoScienceWorld and how we were founded. We were founded as a collaborative of society publishers brought together in the geosciences with a mission of really supporting independent scholarly publishing and also providing a resource in the geosciences. We started with our journals product and we have progressed through to include books. And we also integrate GeoRef as part of our platform and it drives our search. So I'll show you more about that when we actually go to the platform. Just a few bit of introductions. I'm Lauren Comey. I'm the Director of Sales Fulfillment and Customer Service. Joining us today from GeoScienceWorld is Christy Iredell. She is our Global Sales Director. We also have Laura Holzer, who is our Sales and Marketing Coordinator. And we will be joined later by Jessica Lawrence Hurt, who is our Director of Marketing. Put all of our emails here. Again, we'll include this presentation as a packet that you can have as a resource later, so you can feel free to reach out to any of us at any time. If you feel comfortable in the chat, I'd love to know really which university you're representing today, if you're familiar with GeoScienceWorld, and when you're thinking about the research needs of your students and faculty. Is there anything you want to share about that? Don't feel like you have to answer all of these, but it's great to kind of get an idea. We always use these demos as not only an opportunity to show GeoScienceWorld, but an opportunity to hear from librarians, from users, from researchers, and figure out how we can do what we're doing better and where we may have gaps that we can fill. So as I mentioned, we were founded in 2004 with a mission to enable geoscience societies to better serve their discipline. Really, we have over 50 journals at this point, over 35 society publishers, and we really gather together all the best of the society publishers in the geosciences and the publications in the geosciences to form our aggregation. And our goal really is what we've been driving for, both internally and externally, is really to be the essential resource in the geosciences. So here's just a little bit of information about what that means to us, making your job easier as librarians, helping your users find the content that they're looking for, making it easy to cite the sources. And we've really had a major focus on our collaboration with all of the discovery services, so that I know all the libraries are pressed for time and resources, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible for your users to be able to go through whichever routes you use to find the content that you either subscribe to or you've purchased if it's books. GeoScienceWorld serves over 250,000 researchers from over 1,100 organizations. We are truly a global company. And we cross many multidisciplines in the geosciences and really have a focus, again, on our peer-reviewed, trusted, scholarly content that's easy to cite, easy to research, easy to fill out your bibliographies, and download everything that you need in full text. This is sort of a little snapshot of the breadth of our content within the geosciences. So you're seeing a representation of where we lie in the different areas: economic geology, geophysics, hydrogeology. So it really, I think, is a nice way of seeing how our content scans all of these subject matters in sort of a complete way. We're dipping into the large majority of geoscience content that your researchers may need. The journals are on the left and books are on the right, and they're sort of companion products. They are cross-searchable. And in terms of the subscription to our journals, we are always growing it. Our last two added there at the bottom of the Journal of Geology and the Journal of the Geological Society of India. And one thing I always try to mention when we talk about adding content is we have a content committee, and it's not GeoScienceWorld itself. It's experts in the field and librarians, and we use them to evaluate our content decisions. So before we add a journal to the collection, evaluated to see how does it fit with what the needs are of our researchers. Is it high quality? Is it peer reviewed? And we wouldn't ever just sort of stick a journal in there because it's a whim on our part. It's very carefully curated to match the needs of researchers. This is a quick overview of our journals, over 50 journals, cross-searchable with 4.5 million and growing GeoRef records. I think this is better shown when I'll do a demo of the actual site, so I'll kind of dig into that a little bit at that point. A books overview, we have over 2,300 books. Our books are perpetual access purchase, and we're able to be very flexible in our sales model where our books are concerned. We can sell them by subject, we can sell them by publisher, we can sell them by the collections that we've built in annual collections. So it's a great way, especially if you have one-time money that you need to use. The books are a great fit for that. And you can start to build out your holdings in terms of our ebooks. And everything is integrated with GeoRef. GeoRef is an essential resource for geosciences. It's fully integrated. It drives our search. The thesaurus and the terms that GeoRef use are the way that we build the search that I'll demonstrate for you in a little bit. And of course, it's all featured on the GeoScienceWorld platform. We'd love for researchers to spend some time on the platform, not just come on, grab the content and go, because we're really building out a lot of tools. OpenGeoSci is our map-based search tool, and I will demonstrate that. I think when people kind of realize that that's available on the site, it's a very powerful tool for them to use. We have our split screen view with images on the right and text on the left so that you can scroll each side separately. And, we're participating in all kinds of different shibboleth federations for access, as well as IP access. And so we have lots of routes for you. We're Counter 5 compliant and offer sushi usage reporting if that's applicable. I'll stop to share for just a moment and pause to see if there's any questions yet.
I just will say, as someone who, Melanie, I'm actually very familiar with UPenn. I'm a science and research major, and I was actually looking there for my master's. And I know that there's 5 main departments in the environmental studies sector, and just even like the biogeochemistry and the climate change. I just wanted to say that OpenGeoSci would be a really viable use case for that to kind of see over time for researchers to use. But when you said UPenn, it had me thinking because I'm kind of in the environmental realm. So I just wanted to tell you how, those people could use it.
Thanks, Laura. A great idea. So I'll go on to demo the site a little bit. As you probably gathered by the fact that you're seeing us here, one of the things I always try to mention about GeoScienceWorld is we are a small, dedicated staff. So I like to consider us small but mighty. If you reach out to any one of us, you're not reaching out to a big, system of ticketing and entering, something for help. You're going to get me, you're going to get Christy, you're going to get Laura, you're going to get the rest of our team. As Laura mentioned, she has a science background. Christy's been with GeoScienceWorld for 10 years and been in the library world for longer than that. And our CEO, Phoebe McMillan, is actually a geoscientist as well as a publishing expert. So we kind of like to bring that team to play. And I think this is a good dedication of that. You can kind of see how we all work together on it. I'll go to the site at this point. Okay, so this is the main page of GeoScienceWorld. As we mentioned, this is our 20th year, so there's some information here too about that as well. And I always kind of like to note that these navigation tools across the top are a great way to navigate directly to our journals, to our books. You can, on any one of the pages for journals or books, go into a list by publisher. You can go into all books. On our journals, you can also browse by the title. So if a user wants to go directly to one of our journals and they know which one it is, this is a really fast grid to get there. We also have GeoRef with some more information about GeoRef there, as well as this kind of page that I was showing you in the PowerPoint, which has some just great ways to link directly out to these terms and some great images to look at as well. And when you're looking at the GeoRef terms, any one of those is going to lead you to a more detailed list of subject terms. So you can drill down directly through the navigation at the top. You can also find out a little bit more about all of our publishers here and link directly to OpenGeoSci, which is our map-based tool. I will demonstrate the map-based tool when we get sort of to our advanced search function, but you can also go directly to it from this page and find out a little bit more about how to use it. We also have our citation manager here. So when your users are building their bibliography, they can download into the citation manager tool directly from that. And of course, our help section where you can reach out, find more information, or just explore information for librarians, which is a great page to give you links to our MARC records if you have the books, to our KBART files. We have KBART files for both journals and books. We have our title list here that's kept up to date and links and information about our counter reports, as well as links here to promotional materials and our ebooks title list. Our VPAT statement is all pretty readily available here on this page. When you are here at the main page of GeoScienceWorld, you're going to see this box up here, which we call the quick search. So this is the easiest place. This is going to be a very general search of all content. And if you put in a search term here, you're going to get, I put in carbon, you're going to see that it's going to return a search results page that is going to include all of the forms of content that we have on GeoScienceWorld. So GeoRef, journal articles, images, you can search the images directly, book chapters and books. If I limit this search by the journal articles, then you can find that we get to journal articles that, sorting by relevance, have the most to do with carbon. And I'll just take a peek here at this second one, revisiting groundwater carbon. And this is an example of our split screen view. So you'll see that on the left side, you can scroll the full text for the article. And then on the right side, you have the scrollable ability to look at all the images. And another great thing that you can do with the images is download them direct. You can view them large, or you can download them directly into a slide. It can be included in a PowerPoint presentation. And you can do that right from this side without having to be within the article itself. You can also download the PDF directly here as well and look at some information on the article, find out when it was published, information on the authors. You'll find their affiliations here and information on the article itself, the article history, when it was received, if there were any revisions, as well as the DOI. So all of that's here on the article page for you. And then again, you can just, it can be read online or download the PDF, and you've got the content that you need right there. But when you are on the article page, I would encourage users to check out these tabs over here, because the tabs are going to show you the other contents within this particular volume. It's also going to give you the index terms and the GeoRef descriptors and the ability here to click through and view the full GeoRef record. And the GeoRef records will have the URL at the bottom. For this one, it's going to lead back to us. But if you, for example, have content on other platforms, you would see a link there to other content on Elsevier, other publisher sites that you can find. Also, there's a list of the references for this particular article and a great way to look at related content in both books and journals, that you'll find the link that you can get to it right here, and also kind of set up some email alerts if you want to set up a new issue alert for this particular journal, or article activity alert and early publications alert can be set up right here, as well as link through to Google Scholar, Crossref, and Web of Science. Any questions on that part? So when you're looking at the search, when we first did carbon, when we got to these search results pages, we are again searching all content, but down the left rail here are all kinds of facets that you can use to limit and drill down into what you're looking for. So you can do it by article type, by journal, by publisher, by section, and again, the GeoRef subjects, and those can also have drop downs underneath, as well as the era and the period, the epoch and the age, and date ranges. So we have content back to 1666 on the site, which are GeoRef records that go back that far. And you can apply all of those facets directly across the left rail when you're in the quick search, as well as save this search or share this search. When you save the search, you can save it into, when you see my name up here in the corner, that means I have a registered user account and I can save these searches and set up my alerts that way. So when you go into the advanced search, this is the advanced search page. On the advanced search page, you're going to see many of the same facets, but it's going to be represented a little bit differently. And it's going to have the map-based search here embedded in the middle of the page. So if I search for igneous here, I searched on the title. You can also change what you want to search for there in terms of the build query. It can be title, it can be all, it can be affiliation, authored. So you can narrow it down all of these ways. So if I search igneous in all, that's going to return quite a few GeoRef records, journal articles, book chapters. I'm going to limit it to book chapters at this point because I'm going to load them onto the map. So when you've limited by the book chapter, you'll see that you have all of these search results here. And the book chapters are going to function much like the journal pages did. Again, you're going to see the split screen for the book chapter with the book text, chapter text here on the left-hand side, and all of the great images, figures, and tables, again, on the right-hand side, again, downloadable, as well as the same tabs, the content, the references, and the related. But at the top of the search result page, you're going to see a blue box that says View Results on the Map. And this is a great way to look at how OpenGeoSci functions. So OpenGeoSci, or map-based search, all of these drops are going to have content represented under them, and you can draw map bounds if you like to limit that. So you can really limit it geographically. You can blow up using the plus and the minus. You can switch to terrain if you want to look at it that way. So you can have satellite or terrain. And if you go to one of the drops, it's going to blow up and limit your results down at the bottom here to the actual chapters that are shown within that portion of the map. And from down here, you can go ahead and go directly to the full text for that particular piece of content that you found by using the map-based search. Any questions on that part?
It's kind of great.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, just another note, I'm decently familiar with Buffalo as well, Samuel, just the geology. So, I mean, if you have researchers for a use case and they want to see over time or something, and they're either in like the ecosystems or adaptation research group, or if they're in geohazards, it's something that they can kind of utilize and see how it changes over time, or they can look at all of our records. And that's something that I feel like is really helpful and beneficial for a lot of research groups. And you can get super specific when it comes to geohazards or specific environmental changes like that. So I just wanted to note that.
Can you explain a little bit more about the map? Like, what is it mapping? Is it where the author's from? Does the town or region have to be specifically stated in the paper? Is it based on, coordinates?
Yeah. It's based on the latitude and longitude that GeoRef has connected to the piece of content. So that's where we're using, and you can see that we have sort of the coordinates listed down here, the latitude and longitude. So I'll put the search in again here for igneous. And let's see if I can get to a specific piece of content. So if we go here and limit the search to the map bounds, then we've got these 14 results that we're looking at here. As I mentioned before, you can see that there's, you can connect to these GeoRef records. So it doesn't have to be necessarily GeoScienceWorld content. It could be content by that you hold with other platforms that they can go directly to, or it can go to our piece of content. And that is the, sorry, didn't click on the right thing. So this is the GeoRef record for that piece of content. And these are the latitude and longitude that GeoRef has assigned to them. And that's how it connects to the map.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And, as Laura mentioned, I think, if there's ever any researchers that they're struggling with any kind of specific searches on the page, we're happy to help. We, we spend our life tinkering around on the site. So hopefully we can always give some guidance if that's ever helpful. I think I mentioned registered users before, so I just wanted to sort of show you this section of it. This is my registered user account where I'm able to set up my alerts. So I have alerts set up for content, and I also have saved searches so that I get alerts when there's new content that is related to a search that I've executed. And you can choose whether or not you want to get the email alert and manage all of that here in your registered user account. And our citation manager here, if you have a if you have a piece of content that you want to save as a citation, I'll just go into one of our articles here and save it to citation manager. This does need to be done within the session that you are on the site, but then you go into Citation Manager and see that you can download it into any one of these citation managers, citation formats. That makes it easier for the researchers to just download it quickly in the right format. Any other questions on the site? I do want to show you. Okay, so I wanted to show you what we call the community page for GeoScienceWorld. So this is connected to the platform. It's sort of our companion site for it. And you can go back and forth between this site and the platform. And I did put the link for this in the chat at the beginning. But here is some great resources for you that you can help to spread the word if you have a GeoScienceWorld subscription or you've purchased the books. It's a great way to find resources for that. Sign up for the newsletter here. You can do that very easily. I also will show you the For Librarians page. So if someone just has some kind of general questions about what is GeoScienceWorld, you can find more information here and go back and forth between the platform. There's a nice recorded demo of OpenGeoSci. Here's our depth and breadth of content again, and just some more information about GeoRef itself, as well as our society partners, our mission. So all of that is very neatly summarized for you on this page, as well as links back to the librarian admin page if you need to go there. And we also have under our About, our 20th anniversary video information here. And we also very recently had a Diversity and Representation Award. We had a scholarship that we closed the applications on April 30th. But this is a great one if you know of graduate students in the geosciences who may want to apply. Our plan for this to be an annual award. Right now, the essays that we received are under review. They're fantastic. We have some wonderful applicants, but it's a great way to keep that in mind for next year. As well as we have our news and resources section. So the news and resources section has, blogs and information that we've put out in advance, but also has resources for librarians. It's going to have the ability to download a brochure. Again, our title lists are easily available here. our YouTube channel where you can go and learn more or send users. We have some short videos just on advanced search and things like that. So if researchers want to just ingest it that way, they can go directly there. Information on OpenGeoSci, some digital signage that you can download and use if you have any kind of multimedia presentations or information that's running in the library. I myself have 2 college students, and I know when you go to the library, sometimes there's information running up on TVs there. So that's a great way to just download some digital signage. Sign up for the newsletter if you don't receive it. It's a really great way to keep up with what's new on GeoScienceWorld. And we also, if anybody is really deep into the geosciences, have our version of the Wordle game that is all geoscience terms. It's not for the faint of heart. I think Phoebe might be the one within the company that's able to actually play it reliably. The rest of us struggle a bit, but it's kind of a fun way. And it kind of be a nice icebreaker for geoscience students to play with. There's lots of other just information on here, also information for authors. If you ever receive inquiries about students or faculty wanting to publish in one of the journals, we have our own open access journal, Lithosphere, as well as we have links here and information and sort of a nice way to peruse the different journals and get an idea of what types of subject matter they may have in those journals, as well as some ability to link through to their individual assessments where you can submit the article to them. So this page is nice. It's a wealth of information and support that you can get. And again, you can just link right back to GeoScienceWorld, right back to the content itself. Any other questions or anything you would like to see that I haven't covered? Nope. Well, great.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Samuel, is there anything you wanted to ask us, or you muted and working? Well, very good. We did, as I mentioned, record the session. So if any of your fellow NERL members were unable to make it, we're happy to share the video. We'll be sharing it with Aaron. We'll be sharing the slides. Again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us directly. We're happy to hear from you, happy to assist in any way that we can, and answer any questions.
Thank you. This has been helpful.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Melanie. Thank you, Samuel. Thanks, GSW team. I'll go ahead and end this if we're all set.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was just going to say, reach out if you need anything or even any use cases, or if you have students or researchers curious or asking, we are more than happy to help.
Thanks very much, everybody. Have a good rest of your
you.
afternoon.
Thank you.
You too.
Nice to meet you.